Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm so excited to be here and to be doing a little bit of a teaching today on the magic, the power and the potency of the moon, La Luna. So I'll be sharing with you today some tips on how you can connect with the moon. We're going to be speaking about some of the lunar cycles, so lunar phases, and I will show you a little bit all of the benefits that you can use when you work with the moon. Okay, before we jump in, I would just love for you to subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you, and also hit the bell button so that you actually get to see the videos once you're subscribed. Okay. Also, please know that I've just started bringing out a really potent, really powerful course which is called Moon Magic, with which you can harness the ancient wisdom of the Toltec tradition and their very specific practices to work with the moon. I've personally have not come across anything that is more powerful in terms of moon work. I love it, and I would love for you to check out the course, and I will leave the link to it down in the bottom. And there's an introductory discount of 50% right now as well. So let's jump right in to this teaching about La Luna. So I've always been very connected with the moon. I've always loved the moon. I have followed the moon, tracked the moon, been in communion with the moon to a certain degree. And I thought, oh, okay, that's everything that there is to it. Would be doing my meditations. I would work with a full moon and with a new moon, as contemporary spirituality teaches us. So those two moon phases, they are mostly talked about, but I will introduce you to all of the other ones because they're super important. And without the other ones, the full moon and the new moon are not as potent as they could be. So that is something very important to know. But as I was learning all of that, the more deeply I connected with the ancient Toltec traditions. I had connected with that tradition back as a teenager because I've always been incredibly passionate about anthropology, about tribes, about shamanism, about tribal spirituality and all of these things. But then I kind of lost that connection a little bit, and then I came back into spirituality, and then now I've been diving so much more deeply into this Mesoamerican tradition that is so rich and so abundant. And then I came across their moon practices, and as I said, once I started to actually practice them and do them on a regular basis, I connected with the moon on such a more deep level than ever before. It's really blown my mind. It's been so amazing, and it's enriched my life in such a beautiful way. So I will start to go into the 5 moon phases now, and then I will talk about the exact ways in which you can harness the energy, the potency, and the oomph of the moon. Okay, so the 5 moon phases are the black moon. The black moon is one day before the new moon, and the black moon is very, very, very potent and powerful because of its kind of dark energy. And I'm not talking about negative dark energy, but because there is no light, it has a lot of distraction power. But we can use this distraction power for very positive things in the world, in our lives, for the highest good of everyone. Okay, so that doesn't have anything to do with weird stuff and no, we can actually use the black moon, that potent power of that cycle where the earth is actually in between the sun and the moon, and the sun's light can't actually hit the moon. So we here on Earth, we don't see it as illuminated. Okay, and that creates a very specific energy and a very specific lunar force for us to harness and to bring in and to work with. Okay, and we can use that, for example, to destroy, release, or let go of any negative patterns, any negative mental stuff, any mindset stuff that doesn't serve us, anything that holds us back, like blocks, self-sabotage, all of these things that sometimes we have a really hard time letting go of. Okay, then the next moon phase is the new moon, and the new moon is often talked about in esoteric circles, in New Age spirituality, or like, you know, a lot of people kind of like give journaling prompts for the new moon, and that's beautiful. But we can use all of these cycles for so much more. Anyway, so the new moon is all about seeding intentions, okay? Seeding intentions, getting clear on what we actually want, and really connecting with those things from a heart space, from a deep, genuinely aligned heart space that is also connected to our soul's desires. Okay, because when we're working with the forces of the moon, the lunar cycles, and that potent energy, we want to make sure to use it in alignment with good things, with things that are not just for kind of like our own benefit. I mean, yeah, we start there, but we also want it to be this mutual benefit for all, right? So, and I just feel like it's so beautiful to use the moon energy for that. It's so powerful, and we can, again, as I said, we can do so much good in the world with that. So the next phase would be then the waxing moon. And the waxing moon, there, you know, more and more and more light comes in from the moon, through the moon, and for that we can build, okay, we can nourish, we can build up, the energy starts to accumulate, and again we can use that for so many things, to nourish our body, to bring more attention and awareness to anything in the emotional body and heal that. Okay, we can nourish our energy, we can even build our auric field, we can build our light body. Building our light body in this day and age is so important, because the world has gone so crazy, okay, and like no one can really hide from that anymore. And so we're really asked to step up. But in order for us to step up and bring the change that we want to see in the world and manifest the timelines that we want to be on, it takes energy, okay, sometimes a little bit. And when we're so depleted, when we're so stressed and overwhelmed, it's difficult to do that. So we can use the energy of the waxing moon to bring that beautiful energy in and work with that, so that we can be nourished, our bodies, our organs, our light body can be nourished, and then we can energetically expand. Okay, and when we energetically expand, we have more opportunities, more momentum to grow and to ascend and to do all of the amazing things that we can do in spirituality. Okay, lucid dream, you know, astral travel, all of these things that a lot of people are quite interested in, but have like really struggled getting there. And it's usually because our energy is very depleted. These things take a lot of energy. So the moon's energy, especially the waxing moon's energy, and some others maybe as well, are very, very, very potent to help us with that. They're amazing tools that we can use, okay? Then also, working with the moon is a huge amazing tool for everyone who works with energy anyways, for all psychics, for healers, for light workers, for people who, you know, work with medicine, like you know, on a soul level and that kind of stuff, because working with others, and especially like when we do like intense work, like a lot of emotional work, a lot of emotional releasing work, clearing work, energetic cleansing work. That can also be a little bit depleting when we do it on ourselves or on others. And of course we want to do it right, so it's like not that depleting, but sometimes, you know, it takes a little bit of energy to do these things as well. And so the moon's energy is so amazing to help us fill up this reservoir again, to fill up our tank again, so that we can come at it with a full cup and with overflowing energy and abundance to give to ourselves, to our projects, to our manifestations, and to the world. Okay, again, service for others. So then the whole cycle culminates in the full moon, where everything is illuminated, where everything comes to light. Okay, and a lot of people do releasing work on the full moon because the energy is so intense and so heavy. But that's a little bit more of an approach from our kind of like more modern day, more contemporary approach to spirituality and energy work. But actually, with the ancient Toltec wisdom, they give us an approach that actually goes more in depth and actually is a little bit more smart, especially long term. And if you want to be part of Moon Magic, the course that I've started right now and that I will be continuing to offer as self-study, you can get to know all of these tips and tricks and secrets, and especially the actual specific energy work practices to harness this moon energy in a very specific way, so that you can really truly store it, bring it into your body and store it in this reservoir in your body, but also in your energy, so that you can use it for later on. Okay, and these are very specific energy work practices that I haven't really found anywhere else than in the Toltec tradition. And let me tell you, they are powerful. So there's so much more to use and to, you know, gift that we can allow into our lives through the moon, through La Luna, if we're open to her. Okay, and then there is the waning moon, and the waning moon is, I feel, a little bit, and also in the Toltec tradition, a little bit more better suited to actually do the releasing work than maybe on the full moon. Okay, and again, in Moon Magic I address these things in way more specificity and way more detail and really practical tools and practices and whatnot. But you know, that's actually, the waning moon is actually the phase that you want to use the waning moon energy for, in order to release, in order to let go, to detox, and to purify a little bit more. Okay, and then when we get into this beautiful flow of the cycles, then it all comes together so much more potently, so much more potently. And then when you continuously do that, the energy keeps expanding and growing in this beautiful way, and you can tap into that in your daily life. And what I have found starting these practices, actually, because I don't just want to give you knowledge, I also want to give you kind of like everyday experiences that I have made with that, is that my body, my energy, my mind, it's almost like it's automatically using this energy for what it needs, because it is very balancing, especially with the divine feminine and the divine masculine energies within ourselves as a whole, as an individual. It is this moon energy, when we use it correctly and specifically, it is very balancing. Okay, another thing that I've also realized when I started using these techniques in a more deeper way, I had, you know, I'm an artist, okay, I can say that now, but I've stopped painting and drawing and being creative at the age around, I think, 19, 20, something, 21, maybe something like around that age. Up until then, I was a highly creative child, teenager, young adult. I was working with a lot of creating techniques, drawing and painting, especially towards the end a lot, and in a good way actually. But I didn't think about it like that. I always thought, oh, I'm not good enough, and I was doing all kinds of other kind of like artwork, handicraft work, crafting work in totally different ways and forms. And I was so passionate about it, but then I lost that over like the stresses of being an adult and having to do all the things and work and whatnot. And one thing that I was so profoundly drawn to, once I've started with a moon exercises, with the moon rituals and ceremonies that I do teach specifically in moon magic, like everything shifted and my body was craving the creativity. The creativity was literally oozing out of me, and I just had to come back and get back into drawing and painting and all of these things again. And ever since, I've been so immersed in this intuitive art, and it's been such an amazing journey. So that's just one way, one of the many ways in which the moon, the deeper moon work, the more specific moon work, according or with the ancient Toltec tradition, has manifested in my life in a very profound way. And that's just kind of like one example. Okay, the other thing is that you start to feel more energy during the day. You'll be less tired, less flat. I feel I'm so much more motivated to create. Okay, this is why I created this course. Okay, I didn't have any intention to create a course right now. Okay, I was thinking about a few things, but started it, and then I didn't feel really connected. But this one, like the energy was just perfectly aligned for that. And now I'm getting into that creation mode in other ways again. And really it is all started with me starting these practices and continuously practicing them. It's not a lot of work. You have to know a little bit about it and use it correctly. And of course, like the meditations, the energy work is a little bit more specific than everything that's fluctuating out on the web. But once you have gotten the hang of it, it is so easy to do, and it's becoming really, really, really naturally. And it's really allowing us to be in communion with the moon, but not just with the moon, but because the moon has this big, big, big effect on Earth. Because it's a planet of a lot of water. We human beings consist of like what, 70% water? I don't know, like don't don't quote me on the percentage, but it's a very high percentage of water. And we are automatically influenced by it. So why not actually work in sync with the moon so that we also sync up with Gaia? The other thing, the more I'm tuning into the moon and using its energy, the more my cosmic connections actually strengthen and expand and build and get even more juicy and exciting. And if you followed me for a while, you know that I'll work a little bit with cosmic energies in different ways, and also with earth energies in different ways. And the moon energy has actually really amplified, expanded, and made so much richer both of those. Okay, it's like it's brought it even more together and even more into alignment and harmony with me, with the things I do, and then the things and the good stuff that I want to bring to the world. So these are a lot of ways how you can use the energy of the moon, whether you decide maybe to have a look at Moon Magic, the program, or whether you just want to, experience and play it out a bit more yourself. And if you want to do that, then what I suggest starting with is to get more familiar with the moon and start forming a connection with the moon. And actually, like every evening, have a peek through the window, have a look outside of the window and look where the moon actually is and how it travels over the course of a few hours, maybe, up until you go to bed. And just look at her a little bit, gaze at her a little bit, just like we can do sun gazing. And of course, with sun gazing, you have to be a little bit more careful because the sun is very intense and very bright and quite young and masculine and action driven. And so it's very bright, so we have to, pay attention to our eyes a little bit. But with the moon, it's softer light, okay? So it is not as harsh when we gaze at the moon, and we can do that for a few minutes. And that is actually very healing and very connecting and very nourishing, okay? It's like on a soul level even. And you can do that on a regular basis, just in your own practice, to get more familiar with the moon. So I really want to leave you with an actual, palpable practice for you to do, whether you want to join Moon Magic or not, so that you can actually form this relationship with the moon. And if you're ready to dive more deeply into the specific practices and learn how exactly to harness that moon, how to bring it into your body, how to bring it into your energy, how to store it, and how to then use it at a later date, then have a look at Moon Magic and see whether it resonates. And I am so excited that you were here to watch this video, to connect more with the lunar forces, more with the cosmos, more with Gaia. I will definitely bring out more videos of those, so be sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell button, because when you hit the bell button, you'll in doing that, you'll make sure that you actually get a notification, okay? Because otherwise you probably will miss it. So I'm sending you all of my love. I'm so excited about Moon Magic and also your own moon connection and the work that you do with it. Let me know below what you do connecting with the moon, how your relationship is with the moon. If you have any questions, do let me know. I would love to hear from you down in the comments. I'm saying many blessings to you, and I'll see you for the next video.